I'm spending Hanukkah in Santa Monica, wearing sandals, lighting candles by the sea. I spent Shavuos in East St. Louis, a charming spot, but clearly not the spot for me. Those eastern winters, I can't endure 'em, so every year I pack my gear and come out here till Purim. Rosh Hashanah I spend in Arizona, and Yom Kippur way down in Mississippi. But in December there's just one place for me. Amid the California flora, I'll be lighting my menorah. Like a baby in his cradle, I'll be playing with my dreidel. Spending Hanukkah in Santa Monica by the sea. I'm spending Hanukkah in Santa Monica, wearing sandals, lighting candles by the sea. I spent Shavuos in East St. Louis, a charming spot, but clearly not the spot for me. Those eastern winters, I can't endure 'em, so every year I pack my gear and come out here till Purim. Rosh Hashanah I spend in Arizona, and Yom Kippur way down in Mississippi. But in December there's just one place for me. Amid the California flora, I'll be lighting my menorah. Like a baby in his cradle, I'll be playing with my dreidel. Here's to Judas Maccabeus, boy, if he could only see us. Spending Hanukkah in Santa Monica by the sea.
I'm going to play that until the season's over. Anyway,
Yeah.
this is your host, the Harry Channel, making a random Tuesday appearance with Sora and Serenity. A little less structure than a Saturday night because I didn't make a spreadsheet or anything.
Oh, sweet
I
Jesus.
know. We're going to wing it.
Oh, God. It's the end of the fucking world.
Okay, be entertaining. Hi, Sora.
Hi. Thank you for playing that again because I enjoyed it on Saturday.
Oh,
listening to
good.
it.
Oh, I know how your day was, but would you like to tell everybody else how your day was?
Oh, sure. We got a dump of snow. We're currently in the midst of an Arctic flow, so from Siberia, and it is going to drop down to like -19, or well, it'll feel like -19 tonight. It's more like -11 centigrade, normal temperature, which is very warm compared to the other parts of the country, but for us, it's basically the end of the world. So it took me a few hours to dig myself out, and then by the time we got to work, of course, everybody, like our doctors, canceled because they can't even get into the city. So it was actually really nice. I was alone for a few hours. It was very peaceful. I would do it again.
Yeah. Did you ever read, what was it, the short story? Was it Silent Snow, Secret Snow?
No. What's in the secret snow?
It's this story about this kid who starts losing touch with reality, and he sort of imagines that he hears things in the snow, but everything gets more and more muffled, and the story basically ends with him just being locked in his own head and not. It's like absolutely terrifying. And they made me read this in elementary school. I'm like, why would you make me read this? This is like the most terrible story, and it just made me really sad. But you didn't read it, okay?
No, but I will put it on the list because it sounds quite interesting, actually.
Actually, it is a good story.
It's by Conrad Aiken.
Okay.
That's right.
Yeah, no, I was like, that sounds vaguely familiar, but I read so much H.P. Lovecraft shit that I'm like, okay, which one is this? Oh God, it's a play in one act too. Oh Jesus.
Oh, gross.
Okay,
Why would you want to do a horror play? Why?
Well, there's like the Woman in Black. That's a play.
Oh yeah, it's one of those things where it's kind of like, I think that would be the hardest thing to pull off, especially if it's a psychological horror.
Mm-hmm.
Because especially when you have a kid, like getting a kid who has the capability to pass that off just has to be a fucking nightmare. But anyway.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and he's just going to be goth when he gets older.
Oh, goth or emo or a scene kid, just under another name.
Yeah, I'm an actor. I'm being method,
Mm-hmm.
smoking clove cigarettes
Go
on
be
the
the
bad
wall
side of the high
somewhere.
school.
Go be a wall somewhere, sweetheart. Leave me alone.
Yeah, since I'm just a little bit older than you guys, I do remember in high school they had stoners, right? So it wasn't like everybody was stoned. They were just like some group of people who were the stoners.
Oh, yeah.
And the stoners always hung out in one place. So there was this one street on the edge of the school where they would just sort of play hooky and hang out and smoke their dope. They're the devil's lettuce.
God, Harry. Jeez.
And everybody
We
knew
had
who
a
the
whole school for
stoners
that.
were. Yeah, but it wasn't the whole school. It was just like a small cadre of stoners. That's all we had. Now it's probably just all the kids. They're either on stoned or on Ritalin. So what do I know?
It's so funny when you hear things like this, and I'm like, oh my god, all the TV like tropes and stuff from movies, American movies, are true.
Yeah,
Like all the cliques and cliches. It's
it's
great.
like the
Very
Breakfast Club, but they're stoned all the time.
Oh.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then you have the people who do pot try to tell you that it doesn't decrease your mental acuity, and it's like,
I
really?
went to school with these people. The answer is yes, it does.
yes, it does. There's a reason why they have a nickname stoner, or they're just called dumb. Like, come on now. Like, really? Really?
Were they taking the pot, Harry? Yeah, they were. It was the devil's lettuce. That's what it was. Mary Jane.
Marijuana.
There's a movie, like an older movie now. I think it's called the Orange County. It's with like Jack Black, Colin Hanks. It's like a kid's journey to try to get into an Ivy League school or something. It's a hijinks, like, comedy and whatever. But
I remember this.
The high school guidance counselor is so flippin' incompetent that she mistook his name and some stoner kid's name. And like this kid has like straight A's, high GPA, whatever. And she submitted his SAT scores under the stoner kid's name, and then the stoner kid's SAT scores under his name. So of course he's banned from any post-secondary institution, and then this guy gets into like UCLA or some big name university. I can't remember what, and it just, there's this whole scene of them behind a dumpster with other stoner friends. He's like, I got into this, guys, I'm losing my mind. It's like panic sets in because the stoner who hasn't studied a day in his life gets into an Ivy League on full ride.
Wow. So Serenity, how was your day? I mean, I know about your little crisis last night, but I don't know how much you want to share.
I mean, everyone at this point knows the farm, and I had to kill coyotes, and then Donkey killed a coyote, and it's a donkey, not named Donkey. So we're just gonna be clear about that. Right. And then
Dingo ate my baby,
basically, and then 2 of the goat herd protection dogs killed another one. But yeah, no, other than that, and like I had to this was on Sunday. Dealing with animal control people on Sundays is fun. And, and having to explain to them, and they were like, well, keep an eye out, but there shouldn't be any pups. I was like, if they're having pups this late in the season, those puppies were dead anyway. Like, I'm not trying to be morbid, but if it's this late in the season, they're fucked. So yeah, had fun with that. Been quiet ever since, for the most part. I haven't heard the coyote yowl out in the hills recently, so I think we may have gotten all of the ones that caused the problem. But other than that, feeding cats, taking care of animals, preparing for the single-digit temperatures in a few days, where we're also, with the wind chill, going to get down into negatives. So it's going to be fun. This is what I mean when I say West Virginia can get up to 110 degrees Fahrenheit and get down to -10 Fahrenheit, guys. Like, we have the full gambit of weather.
Oh, yeah. There's plenty of places in California that do that.
Oh, yeah. California, like, you hit the mid-range of us, where we are in about, you're a little bit above mid-California, but it's like, still, it's, some people think West Virginia is either very, very cold or very, very hot, and it's like, we're both.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a bitch.
Well, there's some place I was hearing about in Siberia that's one of the coldest places on Earth, and you'd think that would mean that it would be cold during the summer. Oh no.
No, yeah.
There's mosquitoes the size of chickens flying around, and it's like 100-something degrees Fahrenheit, and it's just abysmal.
Well, it's like we have to have fly traps all over the place around here in order to keep them off of the animals, to keep them off the food, all that kind of stuff. Mind you, the penny in the water bag trick does actually work, at least in the barn. But you can't do it outside because it doesn't work outside. But yeah, but I feed the flies to the chickens. So it's a lovely little.
I feel like I didn't get this memo. Which trick is the penny in the water bag?
So you take a clear Ziploc bag.
Yeah.
Put a couple pennies in it, and you fill it full of water, and then you hang it from the rafters in the barn. For some reason, the flies disappear.
Okay.
It's worked every year for us, and it means I don't have to pay extra for fly traps, so I'm going to go with it.
I've probably already told you this thing, but my dad had a solution like that for snails. You put a saucer with sand and then pour some beer in it.
Yep, I've heard that one too.
And then the snails get drunk and throw rocks at each other.
I think they just throw their shell at each other and they just be slugs. We don't have too many snail problems because we use raised beds. So for the most part, as long as the birds aren't being dicks and like dropping them in the raised beds, they stay out pretty well. And we have a lot of ladybugs around here, so the ladybugs kind of take care of the other stuff.
Are they real ladybugs or the fake ones?
The Asian beetle.
Like the Harlequin bullshit bugs.
West Virginia, we legit have both as far as I know. But I know the ones I see are legit ladybugs because they have the deep red.
And the right number of spots. And
and so, and the Asian beetles don't bother me as long as they don't eat the plants. As long as they leave everything alone, I will let you be. Do your own thing, motherfucker.
I learned that there's a difference, that there's both the ladybugs and those Asian beetles here, because I was like, oh, a ladybug landed on me, how pretty. And then the bitch bit me. And I was like, the hell? Ladybugs aren't vicious. Why the hell are you biting me? And then that's how I found out that, no, that's not a ladybug. That's the Asian beetle. So I now have a mortal enemy. And it did not give me superpowers.
Well, it wasn't radioactive.
What kind of superpowers would you get from a radioactive Asian beetle? Like,
I don't know. Maybe some like wings that will hold my weight and stuff, so I could like save on gas. That would be nice.
You get cuteness and an appetite for aphids. That's about it.
I'm sorry. You're in Canada. They would slap you with a fine for undesignated flying. You
gotta catch me first.
Ooh, you got a license for that?
You got a license for that?
A. You gotta say A, but A at the end. License A. You hoser. I don't have enough pictures of Krampus, but I have to say I really do find the whole idea of Krampus to be pretty funny. I mean, just get rid of the whole carrot thing of Santa Claus and just go straight to stick.
Yeah, it's like, why are you trying to scare the shit out of children? Like, why are we doing this? It's supposed to be a happy time of year, motherfuckers. The Jews don't even do that shit, and we're morbid as hell.
Because it's awesome.
We are some dark ass motherfuckers.
Well, Krampus can be fun too. Look.
Oh yeah, because those kids in that bucket look happy.
Is this one of those things like, you know what? I feel like starting over. I want to be single again. Krampus, come take my kids.
I would be amazed if they didn't.
You know,
good times.
Post-birth, like a severe post-birth abortion.
Oh God,
it's Krampus, the original.
Well, we know where Sora's priorities are. I don't want the kids anymore.
I'm not sure I really know what's going on there. So the kid in the basket's like, wah, and then the other kid, I think, is pleading, like, don't take me away and don't hit me with this wheat or whatever it is he's got in his hand. I don't
hit me with your pimp stick.
That's right.
Well, I feel like that's one of those like the old like the brooms, like the end of the old school brooms. I think that's what that is. And as someone who's gotten hit by one of those hurt. because it's like getting hit by like 30 switches at the same time.
Ouch. Hmm.
There's always a fight. But no, that's so creepy. Halloween is supposed to be the scary time, not Christmas.
Oh,
Goddamn Gentiles. How many dozen kids does Sora Luna have by now? That was Costin. That was Costin asking.
Like sugar babies, jelly babies.
No, it's like Costin goes, how many dozen kids does Sora Luna have by now? And then Cryptic goes, confirmed Sora's a mother of 10 and married to Krampus.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Just taking turns, man. Taking turns.
Yeah, you gotta put them to task somehow, right? The economy being as it is, you need those little buggers to turn up profit.
Mhm.
God, like the tongue. The tongue is the worst part. Like it's just like it's like
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
No, man, no. And like, why does he have one normal foot and one hoof? Like,
well, because he has to be grotesque, I suppose, so that makes it extra creepy. Because he's
oh, I guarantee you, if someone looks up on Amazon, there's a Krampus romance novel. I can guarantee you,
it has to be.
Because there's everything else. I
been
got fucked by a
so
pterodactyl.
naughty.
Yeah,
Oh,
Krampus
God.
daddy.
Oh, got you. Oh, I'm pretty sure there's probably a porno. No one look that up.
Well, I
Talk
know
in the
there's
chat.
a horror movie.
Well, yeah, I know there's a horror
Couple.
movie.
One of them was
Krampus
pretty good. Santa and the Swiss Krampus in the sheets.
Mary, Mother, and Joseph.
Yeah, good times.
Oh God, I gotta love it.
Yeah.
God.
I've just been being boring and working all day. I know. What a surprise.
You working? Gasp.
Yeah. Oh, this one isn't Krampus, but it does strike me as being kind of funny.
It's toasted.
What?
Jesus. Your throat protection against irritation, against cough.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh,
do you want
those
to be
cigarette
fat, or
companies.
do you want to be an athlete? Just smoke cigarettes.
Yeah.
Oh Lord, those cigarette companies just lying their asses off years ago.
When tempted to overindulgence, reach for a Lucky instead. Lucky Strike. It's toasted. Yeah.
Sounds like something a pot.
You want to be a
cigarette
winner
company.
like that guy on the right
Yeah. Oh boy.
in the race to catch emphysema.
Hack of a lung.
But anyway, let's put that back there. So there are a whole bunch of like canned silly questions I have. You know, there's there's all sorts of things I can do to not have dead air. You know, I could ask you just any number of insipid pre-packaged interview questions, but frankly, I'm too tired and I don't want to.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. It's a thing. I mean, there's always the inevitable sort of Christmas movie thing. And since I've got both of you here, I think we've had this discussion about like the stupid Hallmark romance things. I once heard that Holiday in Handcuffs was kind of entertaining, and so I actually watched it. And I have to say that it was not the worst thing I've ever seen. It's a movie. It's like one of those Hallmark movies.
I see the Hallmark holiday movies as being like romance novels. Yes, are they formulaic as fuck? Yes, they are. But do they make you happy? Go for it.
Yeah.
Because that's my logic. As long as you enjoy it, you didn't waste your time, and you got something out of it in the end, even if it was just a little sparkle of hope. Go for it.
There is no hope, only despair.
There is hope. There is hope. Oh yeah, that is the one from 2007. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, this is Melissa Joan Hart. Okay, yeah, I know which one this was. Okay. I know which movie this was. Like, the Hallmark actually puts out some pretty good ones. Like, they're not all terrible.
They're not all terrible.
Well, I mean, when you punch out as many as they do, like, you're going to have a hit. You're going to have at least a hit every once in a while and then a bunch of misses. It's just gonna happen.
I suppose it's like you know, what do they call them? The Harlequins. You know, they have so many imprints.
Yeah, that's
Of,
basically what the Hallmark movies are. It's basically Harlequin.
Because some of them are really cute. It's not just like bodice rippers. They're like, you know, holiday with the baby. And
yeah,
because apparently nothing says romance like already having a kid. Yay. Good.
well, considering that most of their reader base already has kids, it makes them feel better. So
Yeah.
let them
I
have their
suppose
moment.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, single mom, and my son's my little wingman.
Really, Harry?
Yes.
That's right. Well, mommy gets ready. You keep my date entertained.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. No, but this is terrible. Where's the synopsis? I don't know how to use this anymore. Let's see.
Well, it's because they
Topcast.
changed everything like assholes.
Oh, I don't like the new setup for IMDb. It looks terrible.
Their
Okay,
storyline.
storyline. Would-be painter Gertrude Trudy Chandler loses her waitress job and boyfriend Nick on Christmas Eve. So her only shot to avoid feeling like her family's black sheep is to replace their ideal son-in-law with even hunkier dream prince David Martin by kidnapping him at gunpoint and dragging him to her family's holiday in a secluded, luxurious log cabin. Crazy lies prevent David from convincing the Chandler family that he's not Nick and from escaping. When he finally places a rescue call to his spoiled fiancée, David decides to play the perfect catch to make her undoing worse. Before the police rescue him, he and the family realize that they adore each other and the others are all prove imperfect, and David and Trudy reassess their relationship after getting to know each other. Yep, Melissa Joan Hart and what was it, Mario Lopez? Yeah, Mario Lopez. So, see, I was able to enjoy this on two levels. First of all, it was terrible. And second of all, it's kind of hard not to like Melissa Joan Hart because she's adorable. So I made it through, but most of these things are unwatchable. I don't know what's wrong with you Y chromosome people. I mean, the X chromosome people. Because I can't deal with that Hallmark stuff. But
I've watched so much shitty anime that is 30 times worse than Hallmark movies that I've learned to just let it go.
Well, that's true. Like that thing that I taunted Geodes into watching that was worse than anything. Yeah, Conception.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
how you. That's one of the things how you can tell, and we're gonna go a little bit into anime here, but that's how you can kind of tell actual anime watchers over the people who just watch the big like 3 or 4, is like, because real anime watchers know that 90% of anime is shit. Dub or sub, 90% of it's terrible.
Yeah, 90% of English TV is crap. You know, back in the day, they only brought the good stuff over, and it made it seem like, oh, it's all like Monty Python and Mr. Bean and Faulty Towers. And then they start bringing the other stuff over, and it's like, oh God, it's Gavin and Stacey, and it's so terrible. It's just awful.
But that's the thing, like that's the reason, like, because it's one of those like, they're videos that start on TikTok, but then they kind of go over to YouTube and Instagram, where they ask people at cons. They're like, "What's the worst anime?" And every single time, it's one of the big 4, which is Bleach, Naruto, fucking hell, Luffy. God damn it, One Piece.
One Piece.
It's like my brain just went nope. And what was the other one? Like one of the other big ones right now is Demon Slayer, which is a part of the new, and Dragon Ball Z. And they always say One Piece. And I'm like, you have not watched anime if you think One Piece is bad. One Piece is not as, like, if you don't like Naruto, that is absolutely fine. But Naruto is not the worst. Like, Conception.
Oh God, no.
Sorry, I misunderstood this. So these are supposed to be the worst animes?
Well, no, like, you can tell people who've never actually watched anime except for like the big ones, because they only say one of the other big ones is the worst. And it's like, if you've actually watched other anime, consumed other stuff other than the big 4, 5, 6, whatever, then you know there's worse shit out there. Like, as bad as One Piece or Naruto or Bleach or Dragon Ball or Demon Slayer, as bad as any of those get, they're not as bad as Conception. They are not. They're not
almost nothing is as bad as Conception, except for Conception.
Well, that's the thing though. Like that's how you can tell these people don't watch anything other than the big ones. Princess Jellyfish is really good. It's short, but it's really, really good. In my personal opinion. But that's how you can tell, because it's like you can't you can't sit there and pass judgment on something when you haven't tried to watch other stuff.
Yeah, 3.9 out of 10 IMDb rating for Conception, by the way.
And most of the people who probably did even the 3.9 were probably subtitled watchers who thought it was good.
Hey, Sora, can you see the screen, or is that's probably a little small? Can you read? Can you read the?
Oh,
can you read the storyline for us?
That's what we need. The creepy teddy bear. Oy.
Okay. Brace yourselves. On the day of his graduation, Itsuki Yugi learns that his cousin and childhood friend Mahiro is pregnant. But before anything can happen, Itsuki and Mahiro are taken to the magical world of Granvania, which is currently being invaded by monsters. The only people that can fight and exorcise the monsters are the Star Children, mystical beings that can only be produced by the 12 shrine maidens of the constellations. Itsuki has been chosen to father the Star Children with the maidens. If he wants to get back home with Mahiro, Itsuki must step up to be a man. But how will he be able to manage a host of 12 ladies? It's a reverse harem. I think, isn't it? Is that what it's called?
It's just a harem.
Yeah, that's a harem. If it's one girl, several boys, it's a reverse harem. If it's one guy, several girls, it's a harem.
Yeah, so this teenager gotta impregnate 12 temple virgins.
Pretty much,
Quality content.
Yeah. And
this red panda is his wingman.
It's this rapey, floating, not funny red panda thing. Terrible, terrible. But that's not important right now.
Well, apparently from what I'll say the name right, Tyrannus Alexandrus Tremere Lich says, there's a video game conception.
Yeah, I think it's based on the video game, but it's so terrible it's hard to care.
Oh, there is. Well, at least they say the video game's actually pretty good.
Oh, the video game's good? Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, that's cool.
It's a role-playing dating sim. Okay, that's the reason why it's the harem thing, because the video game's a dating sim. That's why. Okay. Anime is still shit. But I'm sure the video game's good.
Is it based on the video game? Then?
Yes, it's from it looks like it's a PSP game.
But it's like super low budget and poorly made and awful.
Well, the anime is, but the
anime is.
The game looks actually like it's done pretty well, because they have three different. They have original Conception, which came out in 2012. They have Conception 2, what is the Children of the Seven Stars, which came out in 2013, and then they have Conception Plus, Maiden of the 12 Stars, which came out in 2019. So they apparently have at least enough of a fan base that they can make it. But that explains the reason why it's kind of rapey, because whenever they try to make dating sims into animes, they have to cut so much, because you're supposed to be trying to go after specific girl or girls, so they have to then shove everybody in it together, and it's just like you can't do that without this looking really rapey. You can't. Well, there is one anime out that I started, went, oh god, and then just quit, and it's something healer, and it's the anime where there's two versions. There is a clean version, and then there's the hentai version.
Oh god.
And it's
the hentai by accent.
It has a lot to do with the R word. Oh boy, yeah. Redo the healer, thank you. My dyslexia keeps wanting to kick in. Tyrannus. But yeah, no, thank you. That was Redo the Healer. There's two versions. I somehow hit the hentai version. And oh boy, I made it 6 minutes into that bitch, and I went, nope.
Yep.
I do have a friend who did finish it though.
I actually have standards.
I'm like, nope.
Since you brought up the R word, I think I don't know if I've shown this to all of you, but this is the worst way to format a news thing ever. Have you seen this?
Could you get a better picture? Really? Why did they pick that picture?
It's obviously his yearbook picture. It's he's clearly not. He seems to be coping fairly well with his trauma.
Well, he did better than some did, because those girls are at least somewhat attractive.
Actually, a lot of them are, but not that makes it any better.
Oh, I know it doesn't.
Just makes
it just
makes it well. It just makes it more confusing because then the narrative isn't. Why can't they just? I guess they couldn't find somebody their own age, so they have to prey on children. It's like, no, that's not it.
No, it's more of the control thing. It's like, I have to control every aspect of their life, so I'm going to go after the younger ones. It's like, you're a predator.
Yeah.
You're a piece of shit predator, burn in hell.
You're the G word.
Yeah. Like, oh.
Anyway, that got dark.
Yeah. Well, the problem is I started to redo the healer, and redo the healer it starts off dark and then gets even darker as it goes on, and that's at least what I've been told. And Tyrannus backs that statement up, and I'm like, how do you get darker from that first episode? Because that first episode is fucked up. And like I said, I only watched 6 minutes of it before I went, nope. So it's like, I don't even know how you get darker. But like, someone needs to watch the motherfucker who created it, because that person has got some demons that they need to expel. That's all I'm saying, because wow. Like, ugh. Please, sir, may I have some more? No. You fuck yourself.
I do enjoy Christmas, even if it is low budget Christmas. I mean, at least I have some ornaments that I like.
Yeah.
I like this ornament.
Oh, that's
oh yeah.
That's your stairwell garland.
Yeah.
That's nice.
I've got a Tyrannosaurus.
And then you got the lamp shade, and then you get the leg lamp.
Yeah.
Ornament.
Yeah. Got a bunch of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have Nightmare Before Christmas ornaments. I like those ones. Just because I like Nightmare Before Christmas, because I'm one of those people. I'm such a stereotypical, like, not goth girl. Like, it's not even funny.
RXD.
Yeah. I was one of those kids who was never the scene kid. I was the tomboy, but I liked the darker stuff just because I thought it was cooler. But I was never like, I was never going to spend that much time on my hair or my makeup. It was never going to happen. Because I was in high school. Who the fuck do I have to impress in high school? Fuck all of you.
You're asking too much from me.
Yeah, I know. That's the way I was, because I was like, well, I'm in high school in West Virginia. Why am I trying to impress any of you bitches?
It's a good question.
It's like, no, thank you. I'll be over here. Y'all have fun.
One of my all-time favorites.
That looks lovely. I'd go over.
At least they didn't
what a
give
beautiful
him a
dinner.
knife.
What fine carving skills you have, OJ. But that's not important right now.
I didn't do it, but if I did, let me show you how I carved this turkey.
Well, didn't you have some road rage you wanted to complain about, Sora?
Oh, yeah, I can. 100%.
Okay.
Whenever you're ready.
Go.
So people here don't turn on their lights. They don't clean the snow off their cars, except for a tiny little piece of the window of the driver's side window and their windshield.
Mm-hmm.
And and they also don't have winter tires, and they go speeding and fishtail, and they think that if they own a Tesla, they know how to drive.
But not so much.
Also, it's hilarious to watch news clips of people's Aston Martins being stuck in the snow because they don't know they have how to drive them.
I like it when Range Rovers get stuck because they can't handle wet leaves.
Yeah.
That's like, that must be really embarrassing when you've got an allegedly four-wheel drive vehicle and you have to call for a tow. And then some cheap American truck with four-wheel drive that's painted yellow throws a chain out there and saves your ass. I like it.
Yeah, I got on the way home today because the roads were really bad and it started snowing again. 2 different cars cut me off. Like last minute cut me off, not just like I see them merging and whatever. One car was in the right turn lane. There's a section where it is a marked right turn lane, so it gives you plenty of time so you can merge back into the middle. But he literally waited until he's behind a car at the intersection to realize, oh, this is right turn only, and just cut. Like, it's amazing. It's that I wasn't hit. And I'm like, okay. And then I found out that that car doesn't have any lights. And they only have one. The only light to indicate there might be a brake is the rear right. So I was like, I'm like, okay, well,
Was it a ghost car?
I don't know what that is.
Well, it's like a car that's dead with nobody driving it.
Yeah,
it's like
you're
a
talking about
spooky
actual
car,
ghost.
like a
Oh
ghost
no,
car.
no. It was just some punk.
There was at
kid.
least a person behind the wheel, right?
No, there was two people. There was a passenger and the driver, and I was like, okay, where are you going? Why are you rushing? Where could you possibly need to go this quickly? And you know how far in front this person got? Just in front of me. And then he was stopped because we were all crawling because it became single file. And you could tell this was a very angry driver. Well, I mean, this is the wrong time of year here to be an angry driver. But
Yeah, when there's like no traction. Yeah. That's
zero and barely any snowplows have come through. I mean, some enough, I suppose, but I feel like they made the roads worse. Like the slush was so bad that I feel like that I could feel it under my wheels. The way it was. If I didn't have 4-wheel drive and go slow, I would have multiple times lost control. But just because of how sticky the slush was, it was getting caught under the wheels.
Mhm.
But yeah, no. I hate people here. I wish and that's another thing. You're like, stay home, you don't need to don't go anywhere if you don't need to go. And of course, if you don't show up at work or something because you're stuck in your driveway, then you'll have people shouting at you like, why weren't you here? I made it in. Yeah. But that doesn't mean we live where you are.
Yeah, bastards.
I don't know. That's
Humanity was a mistake.
Oh, you're one of those hairy moods. Okay.
No.
Fuck it all. Nuke it to the ground and let's start over.
Yeah.
no. I feel like there should be I wish that we actually had like recurrent driving tests here.
Mhm.
Because you can have basically so you start with your learner's license, then you get your new driver, and basically the difference for that is that it's the type of passengers you're allowed in the car.
Mhm.
And then you get your full, after your road test, you get your full license. But the thing is that you don't have to take your road test. You can indefinitely keep renewing your N. So at that point, you literally have had only a written test that you can completely cheat on because everybody does that. And just you have to prove, I don't know how many hours. I can't remember if it's 60 or something like that, hours of driving to get your N.
Wow.
Mind you, they may have changed a little bit since I went through the program, but in high school. But you know, it's just like you can now indefinitely keep going over and over again. I had a friend who had her N for 10 years and she never bothered getting her full license because it takes effort to book an appointment for a road test, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, when I think the last actual test I took was to get my motorcycle endorsement. And even that I managed to get out of the practical thing where they set up like a little figure 8 in the parking lot. And depending on what kind of motorcycle you're on, it can actually be a huge pain in the ass to try to navigate this thing, because it's measuring your ability to make tight turns at low speed, not really all that useful in terms of making sure you're not going to die, because really not dying is more about not running into the back of something that isn't moving.
Mhm.
That's like, if you look at motorcycle safety reports, that's how people end up buying it a lot of the times, is they just lose control of the bike and run into something that isn't even moving. That's a pretty bad statistic. But yeah, I just took a class, and because I took the test as part of the class, I didn't have to take the DMV thing. I haven't taken an actual driving test at the DMV since I was 18 or 17, I think. And that's been a while. So yeah, maybe I should be retested. Maybe I'm a really bad driver. I don't think so. I think most people think they're a pretty good driver. That's why it's good to pay somebody who doesn't have to care about your feelings to tell you whether you are or not. it's certainly true with motorcycles. One of the best things they did was tell a few people like, no, you shouldn't ride a motorcycle. Go home now. Like cool.
But
Well,
no buds, get off the road.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's a good thing. I don't think most people are trustworthy on two wheels. I mean, because they're not trustworthy on four wheels. They're certainly not trustworthy on two wheels.
That's why you drive offensively, not defensively.
Yeah.
That's what I was taught. Fuck them! Oh! Get up under
They made their choice.
Yeah, motorcycles are dumb. What I really want is a jetpack, but not really an option. Hey,
not
if you guys could get, if money wasn't really an issue, would either of you get a pilot's license?
No.
No.
No?
I don't like planes. Like I'm one
I don't
of those
like
people who
heights.
Yeah. Well, heights
I
don't
like
bother me.
planes.
Planes bother me.
It's the going up I don't like. Like I love Ferris wheels, but I get anxiety when I'm on them.
Well,
Like I would never. I have been to London, thankfully, on multiple occasions. I've never been on the London Eye because I fear that the day I'm on the London Eye,
yeah.
there's going to be an incident and I'll be in it.
That's the day it breaks. That's always my
that breaking is the least of my worry. I just feel like it's a very large target, if you know what I mean.
Oh yeah. What
So yeah, and being so high, I can't get out of it. So yeah, I can't. But at least on a plane, you're so far up. It's an illusion of like I don't see the ground. You know.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Well, I have been on a plane twice. I have been on a plane going to Las Vegas, and I have been to a plane coming back from Las Vegas. The landing and the takeoff were where I was scared. Once in between, I passed out without any drugs or alcohol. I just fell asleep until the plane got ready to land. That's all I did. Because I'm that person. I'm that person who can fall asleep at the drop of a hat if I'm in a moving vehicle.
That is a lucky skill to have.
And like I woke up, my mom woke me up long enough because when you fly to Vegas from the East Coast, you can see the Grand Canyon, and the pilot was like, "And if you look to your side, there's the Grand Canyon." And I was like, oh, "That's so cool!" Right back to sleep. But like,
wow,
yeah, it's like, oh, that's so awesome. Take picture and good night. The thing that scared the shit out of me though was like going from the East Coast to Las Vegas was fine. Coming back, it was so hot outside and it was so cool on the inside of the plane that it did that thing where it goes up and then it just the bottom drops out.
Oh yeah.
And you go, I hate God, that scared the shit out of me. I'm like, I'm gonna die.
We did the roller coaster drop flying out of San Francisco because we were flying into a storm. So the pilot was like, yeah, we're gonna try to outrun the storm, but we'll be flying through it. So ladies and gentlemen, seatbelts. And then he goes, we go through the turbulence, of course, people scream, whatever, and I feel like we've dropped all the way back down to San Francisco, and the pilot comes out and says, haha, I hope you enjoyed that little bit of fun. And like, it was just like,
it's like, can I punch the fuck out of you? Can I just beat you, please? Like, fuck you. I know you're used to this shit. I'm not. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no kidding.
Like,
I don't want to change my underwear mid-flight. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm the opposite of you guys. I would totally learn how to fly. When I was a little kid, my favorite thing to do was to go to the airport, and they had a little coffee shop where you could watch the planes take off. It was just a small municipal airport, and I could just sit there and drink sodas and listen to the tower on this little headset that you could grab from the window. So I would go to the airport and I would watch the planes take off, and I would love to do that. My dad, when I was, what was I? I think I was like 5 or 6. He rented a thing in a little Cessna airplane. So we went out to the airport and flew around, the area in a small plane. That was pretty exciting. I enjoyed that when I was a kid.
Well, it's like, I'm one of those, like, I love watching planes. I just don't want to be in it.
Then I got to fly to Disneyland on a big propeller plane.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, that was actually pretty fun. And then, let's see, I went to Disneyland. Then I went to Hawaii. and I've been on a bunch of flights since then. It's hard for me to imagine somebody who's only been on a plane twice. How did you manage that?
I don't leave my state unless it's by car or by train. That's how.
Well, I'm not exactly a world traveler by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah, we're not
but,
Sora.
Sometimes I do have to actually go places.
Well, it's like I've never had to, and like if I did, like I love trains. Like I love trains like nobody's business. So I like how many times have I been to Disney World? 4 times. We would always take the train down. And like it's a 2-day train ride, but you see, like you can see the ocean from the train in a couple spots, or at least the Atlantic Ocean and stuff like that. So I always just enjoyed trains, and I'm one of those people who's like, I think our train system's actually not bad. Like I know people like we need a light rail, and I'm like, good luck with that.
You need a monorail.
I love the monorail at Disney World. I love that thing. But like it's one of those. It's like because my great grandfather on my grandmother's side used to work for CNO and then CSX and all that kind of stuff. So I grew up with him, and he told me a bunch of stuff about trains, which is how I know some of the stuff about like America has one of the best freight systems in the world, and a lot of people try to copy us. So yeah, we don't have a light rail, but we can actually move stuff across our fucking country, unlike some places, without the need of planes. And I understand the reason why trains will take longer sometimes, because the fact that the freights have preferential travel over passenger trains, because we're a freight system in this country, and it's all this kind of stuff. But it's like, I love trains. There's a train that goes at the back end of the property up against the mountains that I hear at like twice a night, once at midnight and once at 3 o'clock in the morning. Cause he always does the whistle.
Oh, I like that.
And all this kind of stuff. And it's like, there's, for anyone, if anyone ever comes to the newest national park, which is New River Gorge, there is a train ride that goes through a lot of the small towns that's near that, and then you go underneath the New River Gorge, and it's an old school like steam engine that does it.
Oh, those are beautiful.
And it's one of the few that's kind of like still working and stuff like that, because the line it uses isn't a freight line, so they don't have to worry about delays the way everybody else does. So they can kind of just travel up and down, and the trains are always packed. The train cars are beautiful because they're older too, but they're still well maintained and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, no, I'm a train/car person. Train because I love trains, car because I can control the car. So if I have to stop, I can stop. Because I've had to do that a few times. Because I've driven from West Virginia all the way down to New Orleans and then back up. And that's a 14-hour drive. I've driven from West Virginia all the way down to Orlando, Florida, which is about a 16-hour drive. Me and my mom have driven all the way up to the tip of Maine from West Virginia, which is God so long, but that we did stops along the way. So I'm the kind of back road, Route 60, Route 66 kind of person. So that's I respect people who get on planes, but they freak me out too fucking much. So I just drive or take a train. And I have been to Canada, so it's not like I haven't been to other countries.
No, I didn't say you never go anywhere.
I know.
Just, you only been on 2 planes in your whole life, and I'd been on 2 flights before I was 10.
I know. Lucky duck. Maybe if I'd been on a plane when I was really young, it might have gotten me over the fear, but I didn't go on my first plane until I was 18.
So you could be inoculated.
Basically. I didn't even drink. I just fell asleep. Because it's just out.
It's a skill.
And Assassin, I like F-16s, but I like A-10s better. I like the Warthogs. I love those things. I love those. I love them. They're so good. But yeah, no, it's Green Badger. I'd rather have a personal A-10. I don't think they're going to let you have that. Because those things are dangerous. But yeah, no, it's one of those things where it's kind of like if I had been on planes more, because my mom actually had her pilot's license for a while.
Cool.
And she tells stories about, and this was well after I'd gotten the shit scared out of me by the plane, so this was not adding to the fear. But like she talks about how it was one of the really, really tiny Cessnas, and she was just getting her hours, so she was by herself. She didn't have the instructor, but she was near an airfield, and she was getting yelled at by the tower to pull up. But the really tiny Cessnas, you can't really you can't do them like you can like other planes. And she was just like, I can't pull up, and then this jet just goes right underneath of her, and it kind of threw her off so much she had to like land at one of those. Because down here in the States, we have a lot of the private air quotes airfields where it's literally just a flat piece of green field and a tiny little shack that's just got like a radio in it. So and she had to land at one of those and then call it in and go, how the fuck do I get back? So it's one of those things where it's kind of like, had I been exposed probably younger, I probably wouldn't have the fear. But it's not looking good.
That's okay. I think it's a healthy fear to have.
Well, it was one of those, it's like we were supposed to go to Scotland and England at one point, and then 9/11 happened, which didn't help the fear. We were then supposed to a few years later go again, and then that French plane crashed, and only the one girl survived. That was a long fucking time ago. So I'm just like, I think the universe is telling me not to go on any plane. But I have said that probably before I'm 45, I will suck it up and get on the long ass flight from America to Japan, just so I can say I've been to Japan and fulfill the weeb dream.
You're planning your trip to Japan like some people dread their first colonoscopy.
Well, I'm dreading the flight because one, I want to save up enough money that I'm not in economy because I'm not doing that shit. Not for 22 hours. Fuck you. Secondly, it's gonna be at least a month-long trip because it's gonna take me at least a week to get over jet lag. Because no, like I'm planning everything, like just, and maybe I'll go up to Korea because I like Korea too because I'm one of those K-pop weirdos. But it's one of those where it's kind of like, if I'm doing it for a long time, and I'm going to make sure that it's not like, I'm going to go for a week. Why are you going? I understand you have commitments and you have jobs, but why are you taking that long of a fucking flight to go for a week?
To go halfway around the world.
Yeah, it's like you're going to have jet lag for at least 2 to 3 days. And then you're going to come back and have jet lag for at least 2 to 3 days. Like, why? Just like tell your job, I'm going across the world. If you need me, I'm literally out of reach. Goodbye, and just take your PTO and go.
So we have a patient who we were trying to email some important information to, and we got a kickback out of office from her that basically states, I am disconnecting in an effort to provide myself like a better holiday experience for the whole month of December into January. I will be limiting access to my email, something to that effect. And I'm like, wow.
That must be nice.
Do you live, like, what job or reality do you live in? Because that is amazing.
Yeah, you come back to find out the HOA has sold your house.
Yeah, basically. It's like, and no house for you, goodbye.
But I was on vacation. I didn't know.
I think basically that kickback message is one, to cover the ass, and two, this way, like, she can still read the emails, but she doesn't have to reply. Harry, did you just do like an image search?
No, I had these. I just had to move them from my phone into Discord so I could get them in the browser.
Because I just keep seeing new Krampus pictures out of the corner.
Yeah, I
of
have
my
a lot
eye.
of pictures of Krampus.
Like the little girl
in this picture, that little girl obviously called Krampus because she didn't like her older brother anymore and wanted him to take him away.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, because she doesn't look scared at all. It's like, oh, hi, Krampus. Oh, darn, big brother. Whoopsies.
Goodbye, big brother.
I get all the presents now.
Yeah.
That one's still the...
She's probably the favorite anyway, you know.
It's going full Biden on him in this picture. Giving him the full Uncle Joe experience.
Oh, God. Ew.
Yeah,
You know.
there's certain themes here. It's like the tongue, but he seems to be really good at smacking kids around with that, like that
Bush
bundle of,
thing. Yeah.
yeah, that like the broomstick thing or something. Jam's like, lol, what the hell is this?
Insanity.
Well, you know,
That's
I
what it
mean,
is.
Wholesome family entertainment. That's what
Yeah.
it is.
yeah. Hey, at least I'm not roboting. The new sound software seems to be working okay.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I
you're
was
doing very
I have a sound effects board too, built into
Oh,
this
no.
new software, so we can do this. It's good to have that on tap, don't you think?
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy.
And applause and other things. Yeah, fun with technology.
Can you add custom?
I have another board that I can add custom.
You should add little Miss Sweetie Pie or whatever her name is.
Okay, those are a birch bundle, and he whips people with them.
Ah,
I had to
He
Google
whips
it because
his
I was
bird
like,
back and forth.
what the fuck is this shit? Like, apparently, Krampus is a Christmas demon. December 5th belongs to Krampus. If you
Yay.
survive, you might get presents.
if you survive. So you get a reward at the end of it. It's good.
Woohoo! Krampus may be a monster, but he pals around with Santa. Originally, Krampus was a purely pagan creation, said to be the son of Hel from Norse mythology, but he got grafted into the Christian tradition as a sidekick of Saint Nicholas, similar to figures like Zwarte Piet in the Netherlands and
Black
Knecht
Pete.
Ruprecht
Yeah.
in Germany. Since the 17th century, the two have been linked in sort of Christmassy yin-yang, with Krampus as Saint Nick's dark companion.
Yeah.
Costume figures.
The emo brother.
The
that we don't
stick of
talk
Christmas present. Oh, by the way, Sora,
Yes.
Uh-oh.
there you go.
What?
Oh, you couldn't hear it?
Nope.
No.
Of course not. Why would you be able to hear anything?
We're waiting in anticipation.
Yeah, keep waiting.
Oh, God. Well, I'm going to keep going on with facts. Krampus revelers will hit, push, and whip spectators at the parades.
Okay, so he's into BDSM. Okay.
Well, it's his revelers, not just him. Krampus's appearance varies, but he often has one human foot and one cloven foot.
Please stop. I'm bored.
There we go.
Hey, there we go.
I got two more. You can deal with it.
Okay.
Some Austrian households had year-round decor meant to warn kids of Krampus. So not even near Christmas, you just get the shit scared out of you all year round. Krampus
right.
masks are valuable pieces of folk art. And then this last one, which it makes me go, huh? You can celebrate Krampus even if you're in the United States. It's like, no shit, Sherlock.
Okay. Thanks for the permission. I was gonna do it anyway, but like, screw you now.
It's like, fuck you. I'm gonna go hardcore now. I'll show you how to celebrate Krampus.
I don't know. This one looks a little old.
That one looks a little wrong.
This one looks a little more like Krampus After Dark.
Yeah,
this is not. I'll switch it.
Let's get it out.
There we go.
That just.
Please, Krampus, don't take my annoying little brother. I didn't mean
It's
it.
probably more. Please, Krampus, take my annoying little brother.
Look at the portrait of the little brother. Look at that. Wow.
Evil child.
Yeah, he needs to be taken by Krampus. Oh wait, that's probably the name of the book, Taken by Krampus.
Gross.
Who's the idiot who writes a lot of those things? It's Chuck Tingle or something.
Hey, I respect that person because at least they know what they're doing.
Yeah, they're a published author.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is a Kiss from Krampus, an erotic novel that came out in 2012. So this has been going on for a while. Yeah. Married to Krampus, which came out in 2020. Shadow. What is this? Shadow of Saint Nick, a Krampus fairy tale romance. And there's one. This one looks like it's almost a YA novel, and it makes me a little worried. Show me the full shit. Come here. Go to Amazon. Let me see this bitch. Snowed. That's a lovely name. It's Charity Jones. Oh God, that's such a Mary Sue
Her name
name.
is Charity Jones. That's terrible.
Oh no! Wait for it. This is so a fucking YA Mary Sue novel. Wait for it.
Okay.
Charity Jones is a 16-year-old engineering genius who's
Oh,
bullied for
God.
being an atheist at her conservative high school.
Oh, this is a self-insert.
Yep. Everything changes when Charity's mother brings home a dreamy teen runaway named Aiden, oh my God, to foster for the holidays. Matched in every way, Charity and Aiden soon fall in dizzying first love. But it
Gross.
seems Aiden isn't the only newcomer. Charity soon finds the brutally slain corpse of her worst bully, and then gets what? And then
What?
gets hard, haunting out.
What?
Okay, I got confused there for a second. I was like, "Wait, is this trans?" No, and then gets hard, haunting evidence that something monstrous is stalking Oak County. Can Charity and
Is it the runaway?
most likely. Can Charity and her Skeptics Club, because of course she started a Skeptics Club, stop the killer? Christmas is coming, or is it Krampus? Great Christmas horror with a twist for teens and adults. This came out in 2016. It is a winner of a 2016 Bram Stoker Award for Superior Achievement in YA Novel nominee and 2017 Anthony Award for Best Children's YA Novel and Mystery Writing.
What was it? Half Chupacabra, half Rapey Dolphin, half Joe Biden?
Apparently. And it's apparently like a 3-book series, because the next one is Snowbound
Mm.
and the next one's Snowblind.
Alrighty.
But no, it's like 16-year-old engineering genius at a conservative high school, and she gets made fun of because she's an atheist. It's like, honey, I went to a conservative high school. No one gives a fuck.
They hate me because I'm beautiful.
Oh. I just love the fact her name's Charity Jones. Like, fuck
Mm.
off. The fuck? Oh my
Yeah.
God. The fact that the Bram Stoker Awards gave this bitch a fucking YA, well, it's a YA novel nominee, so it's not even that big of a deal, but the fact that they even got nominated is insulting.
Well, didn't Jenna
Well-
Marbles win a James Joyce Award? I
I
don't think
so.
awards really mean anything anymore.
But they haven't meant anything. Like, that was back in 2016, so they haven't meant anything for almost a decade at this point.
They gave Caitlyn Jenner Woman of the Year, and Caitlyn hadn't even been a woman for a year. That's
Preemptive award.
yeah. We prorated it. You know, if you'd been a woman for a year, you would have been awesome. So, award, please. No.
Yeah, Jenna Marbles did win a James Joyce Award. I was just making sure because I was like, let me see. But oi to the very
What
like,
for?
oh,
What was?
it was just for her comedy stuff,
Ah.
apparently, which she doesn't even do anymore because some of the stuff I said was racist. It's like it wasn't. You were making a caricature, but you were looking for an excuse to leave anyway. So no judgment there.
You and your tiny dogs and your annoying boyfriend.
Oh God, Julian is so fucking annoying. But Assassin of the Great Charity, she will be a stripper. Oh, 110%. It's a
Chastity will be a prostitute.
Yeah. Well, it's one of those things when it's I don't know if the author did it intentionally or not, but it's kind of ironic that she's called Charity, but she judges her conservative she doesn't give charity in belief to her conservative classmates because she had to create a skeptics club. It's like, so you're not very charitable. You're the complete opposite.
Oh my God! Why do you try to poke holes in everything I do? What's wrong with you?
Oh God. Oh Jesus Christ. Oh, there's more Krampus novels. No, what the fuck? Bitches, get laid or get a mechanical aid to help you with it. My God. Stop writing this shit.
That's what those birch switches are for.
Apparently.
They want Krampus to come.
What is this one?
Krampus has needs.
Apparently.
I mean, it must be annoying being around all those kids screaming in your ear all the time.
Yeah.
That's the reason why they're chained. Well, no, they're tied. He doesn't even use his fucking chains to tie them. And what's at the back? What's kicking their ass at the back?
That's Krampus Jr. I don't know.
Apparently.
That's the intern.
Definitely the intern. Poor Krampus.
So misunderstood. Poor thing. Oh, I had a light bright. Can't judge anybody for being happy about a light bright. Looks like they got pickup sticks too.
Oh, I like pickup sticks. That was fun.
I love pickup sticks. I was so easily amused as a child.
I really wanted a light bright. I know you can buy one now. Like they have those like reissues of like vintage toys and stuff, but it's not the same.
It's not. Half the fun of getting a light bright was getting a light bright, not buying it yourself.
Yeah.
Oh no, one of my cousins, he decided to be a funny little jackass and he sent a Christmas present early, but he didn't wrap it. And he sent me a Squishmallow.
Ah.
And I was like, if you start me collecting these things, it's your own fucking fault. And I'm going to send you the bill.
Squishmallow?
They're very, very comfortable, like pillow shaped plushies. I have a collection.
Yeah. Well, it's like he
It's
got
become
me
an addiction.
The irony is that I got it like Monday after the issue with the coyotes, and it's a wolf. It's the little sage green wolf. I think its name's Oakley.
Oh.
And I'm like, you have no idea how ironic it is. You just sent me this.
He's so cute.
But yes, it's there's an entire like, yes, good kitties. Good. I love the dinner trays in the background too. Like that, I love that. That is awesome.
The aluminum tree.
I know.
But I like how they're like, I don't know. It was like this when we cut in here.
Yeah.
Oh, seriously? That's cool. Duck Dog says the light bright pegs smell of grapefruit when they get hot. That's probably
That's a warning.
some poison.
Yeah,
But
there's no way a kid would eat those.
Yeah, not at all.
Die.
So Minnie, speaking of like eating the light bright things, she loves crunching on the light bulbs, like the Christmas tree bulbs.
Mhm.
God.
Yeah, so if I ever had those, yeah, she'd be eating them. Good to know, because she's an idiot and a dick.
Oh, like no, there's like the meme going around of people talking about how people on TikTok will see a recipe and it'll be like, make a pizza this way, and they'll be in the comments going, can I switch stuff out? It's like, no, just fucking do it. And I saw someone on social media talk about how to tinsel a tree, and I'm like, great Caesar's ghost, do none of you know how to do anything without being told?
Wait.
What the fuck?
What do you mean? Like, just how do you put tinsel on a tree?
On a Christmas tree? Yes.
With abandon.
Yes. And they were like, I don't know how to, and they were like trying to give and they were giving the history like it's a German thing, and I was like, who gives a fuck? It's tinsel. Like my
Did
Jesus.
you guys not have like the classroom, like in kindergarten and stuff, when you decorated things with tinsel? I find that it's difficult. We can't find tinsel here. I swear they don't sell it because it's not eco-friendly.
They still
Probably.
sell it down here. We still have all the terrible fake shit down here.
I miss having proper tinsel, because the problem with tinsel is that you can try to save some of it, but in reality it gets all chucked
Yeah.
away because it gets stuck in the tree. It's,
It's one of those things you need to accept the fact that when you buy your tree, it will be green. And every year after that, it will just turn more and more silver. And you need to plan accordingly for it to turn silver and just go with it. Or you need to never buy tinsel, period. Just don't ever do it.
Or I guess like dye with edible silver glitter, or like cellophane, because that's naturally made, like cellulose cellophane. I don't know.
Oh, no,
I'm very sorry. I have a dog barking. I will be right back.
Okay.
He's a puppy barking.
Hey, dogs do what they got to do.
Yeah.
They've got a mind of their own and stuff.
Dog's like, you're supposed to put it on with a leaf blower. That would, I can't, no. I have an old house. It's going to get places that I'm never going to be able to get it back from. If I do it that way. Not to mention the fact that the dogs that live inside the house will probably have panic attacks, and I don't need to deal with that. What the fuck
No.
is that? Ah! Because I already have one that's terrified of the robotic vacuum. I don't need to give them existential crises.
No. No. It's weird that dogs that are totally chill about most things will freak out over something as simple as the vacuum.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because it's like he'll freak out about it. This is Oscar, the newest one.
Mhm.
He'll freak out about it, but then he'll forget it's there because it's one of the newer ones. It's very quiet, and it'll sneak up behind him and it'll tap him, and he'll go. "Meow!" I'm just like, you dumb motherfucker! You know this thing is running around, and you're just gonna ignore it. It's like, thank God you're not a guardian dog, and we already have other guardian dogs. We'd be fucked. Just the robber would sneak up on you, pet your head, and you'd wag your tail, you son of a bitch. I know you would. Like,
Yeah.
I got head pets.
No, animals are great.
Oh, I love them. It's just some of them are morons.
Yeah, many of them are morons. I mean, cats can be sweet, but even smart cats, basically, they can hold about 1.25 ideas in their head
Yeah.
at any given time.
And you can see the idea leave their head.
And then they blink and, reset.
My mom always makes a joke that if anyone tries to break into the house when it's just her here, she always makes the joke that the barn cats will do more to protect her than the dogs will.
I swear when cats blink, you should hear that noise that Microsoft makes when it reboots.
Yeah.
Because that's the way their brain seems to function.
Well, you can always tell there's nothing in there whenever you, like, if you have a cat and you can trust it somewhat around your Christmas tree, because they just stare up into the Christmas tree like it is the most fascinating thing they have ever seen.
Mhm.
And they just look high. You don't even have to give them catnip. It's just, I can see the world.
It's like a huge vertical display of cat toys.
Mm-hmm. No, just staring at the lights, because my cats have done that when because we have pre-lit trees.
Mhm.
And if we just plug the tree in, they'll just sit underneath of it like they're high. Like they're
Wait.
high at Burning Man. And just sit there.
Pre-lit trees?
Yeah.
What the hell is a pre-lit tree?
You don't put the fucking lights on it. The lights are built into the tree.
Why? This is an artificial tree, I take it.
Well, yeah.
I was going to say, that's one hell of a piece of genetic engineering.
That would be impressive as fuck.
They grow with lights. They're bioluminescent Christmas trees. That'd be awesome.
Oh no, there are very high-end ones. And there's a company called, I think they're called balsa wood or something like that. They're called something like that. And they have the type of tree that it's already on wheels and you can flip it and then you put the topper on top of it and then you're done, and they come pre-lit. But they're expensive, and my one cousin, him and his wife splurged on it because they last forever. It's like, they are awesome fucking trees, but it's just like you can pick from the lights. You can pick lights that are either the multicolored basic bitch ones, or they now have the micro LEDs that you can have them like on there, and like, it's beautiful when it's lit up. But I'm like, guys, I'm not paying that much money for a fucking fake tree. It's not happening. But it's like, some of these fucking trees are ridiculous, man. Because there's like trees that are like $7,000 and they're not even that big. And I'm like, why? Because of how realistic they look. Then just buy a real one and then plant it in your backyard.
Yeah, you know what's realistic? An actual tree.
That's what my grandfather did for years. Because my mother can't lift anything that heavy, and I can, but I'm the only caretaker of my mother, and I can't take that chance of me getting hurt. So, but my grandfather used to buy living trees, and we always had the bucket, because we always got it with the bulb on the bottom. And like, toward the back of the property, near the pumpkin patch, that is an all natural pumpkin patch, because I just throw the seeds back there. There's like 8 Christmas trees that have all just gotten huge. They're a lovely wind deterrent. They're nice.
Well, they're pine trees.
Well,
or firs. I don't know. What do you usually get?
We get pine trees.
Okay.
The biggest one is a blue spruce that we didn't know was a blue spruce at the time when we got it. And then it's about, I want to say it's God, like it's like 20 feet at its base now. It's
Oh
like
my
20 plus.
gosh.
It's like 30 years old. So it's one of the first trees we ever got, but it's massive. And I'm just like, thankfully it's all the way at the back of the property and it can't hit the house, because if it could hit the house, I'd take the motherfucker down, because I'm like, I can't take the chance. But they, as my mother affectionately calls it, the back 40, the trees, because of how my grandfather planted them, they stop any of the real bad winds from coming out down from the hills that's behind us.
Mhm.
So it's a nice wind buffer. So we get the snow, but we don't get like the ice stuff and ice coming off the trees and hitting the side of the house and everything like that. Because that could put a hole through some of our windows if it came down too fast. But yeah, one was a blue spruce. I think we have one that's a Fraser fir, because it doesn't look like the other ones. And then we got like, oh god, I can't remember what the other ones are. I'll have to look it up, because he actually wrote it down, and I just have to go look it back up in the garage on the board that he wrote shit down on. But yeah, no, it's like we used to, but yeah, no, we don't do that anymore. I'm like, maybe once I'm sure everyone is healed and in a good place, and I don't have an idiot 70-pound dog who will get underneath my feet at the wrong fucking time, I may get another living tree. Because he's a dumbass. He'll try to help, and then he'll get in my way, and then I'll trip on him, and then I'll drop the tree on him, and that's just gonna have be how it is.
Well, we were old school. We would just get in the car, we would chop down a tree, they'd give you a saw, you kill it, you chop it down, and then you put it on top of your car and drive home.
That was my grandfather used to do that, and then when he got a little bit too old, he used to have, like, the last 2 trees that we did were live. He had them delivered to the house, and they weren't really tall trees. They were only about 8 or 9 feet tall, which is still big. I understand that, but they weren't too huge. So he just had them delivered at that point. But he still lugged them into the house, put them into the red and green stand/bowl that we had to keep watered at all times.
Yeah, a friend of mine was living in San Francisco for many years, and he said that they used to go out to North Beach. People would take all their old dried out Christmas trees, like into January, and they would just make this huge pile of dead Christmas trees and then go full inferno mode on the beach.
Which we all know is not allowed now.
Oh no, there's no fun of any kind allowed now. You go to the beach now, there's 30 signs telling you the 30 things you're not allowed to do.
Including
and that you'll get cancer.
Yeah, 28 of which were legal when I was a kid.
Yeah. Don't forget.
Do you want to hear something? Speaking of things that aren't illegal, so you're not really allowed to have wood fires anymore. Like if you have a fireplace here, because certain things are considered to be, guys, are considered to be like pollutant. I guess there's certain levels of pollutant. Yeah, well, it's gonna go down to like over -10, right? Can you imagine the amount of people who decide, yeah, I'm gonna follow? Shh, Minnie, no. I'm gonna follow that. I'm not gonna light a fire, and I'm gonna freeze.
Yeah,
because I might be polluting. Stupid.
Well, I mean, fireworks of a certain kind are illegal, but every 4th of July, it sounds like a war zone around here.
But yeah, but at least with fireworks, so you're not using them to keep yourself warm, you know?
Well, I think the point is that everybody feels like they've got a certain number of sort of fuck it exemptions. And whether it's a holiday or it's cold or what, it's like, well, I'm going to be lawful most of the time, but it's cold and screw it. I'm just going to build a fire because they can't put us all in jail.
Yeah.
I still remember when the COVID restrictions started to happen in California lockdown, and Newsom was like, we will have no fireworks this year. And then you just had the news helicopter flying over.
Practically shooting the thing down with fireworks.
It was just like, yeah, that's the American spirit. Fuck you, Newsom.
Yep.
Go fuck yourself, you piece of shit.
No, you can't eat that. Sorry.
Well,
I'm
actually,
having candy, so the dogs are.
They want some. Well, outside of the San Francisco Bay Area and the Los Angeles Basin, in most of California, you can do pretty much anything except like burn barrels and big burn piles without a permit most of the time. So it's actually fairly liberal in some weird sort of ways.
Yeah.
Like oddly, California knife laws are actually not all that draconian. I mean, go figure. You think we'd be the worst? No, not really. Outside of a couple big cities that have laws, and actually most of California, you want to burn stuff, knock yourself out. Load up the fireplace. Yeah, it's great.
Gender reveals. Burn down a forest.
Yeah. Oh, look, the smoke is blue. But yeah, I actually been thinking about building a fire. I may just do that once the show's over.
Do it.
Yeah, do it.
Do it.
Well, as I told you, I
need
have two fireplaces. I have a fireplace. I basically have a grill pit in the kitchen, which is totally wouldn't pass code now. And then I have another one on the opposite side of the big brick behemoth that's in the center of the house. That's the fireplace in the living room. So, yeah, I love a good fire.
I just love the fact we keep hearing the dog bark.
Yeah. I think I told you about the time the bad neighbors who I hated, their house burned down, but they were cooking ribs when it happened. And supposedly they had like this huge pot of ribs that they were cooking in sauce. So they were sort of like, oven barbecue sort of things. Mm-hmm. Their whole house burned down, but then they ate the ribs and they said they were delicious.
Hey man, might as well get something out of it. The house is already burned down. No point in freaking out.
They're like Salt Bay level of cost. Yeah. Yeah. Recipe for ribs. Take a bunch of ribs, put them in a giant pot, light house on fire. Enjoy.
Woo! Go to town.
Yeah, good times. Do you like this picture?
Mm-hmm.
I love the fact that Santa's got 4 arms.
Yeah. Well, he's Space Santa. So he can do that.
Is that Japan? Is that what Japan's going to build on the moon? Is that what that shit is?
Yeah.
I would love a space igloo.
What the hell was the name of that thing? Moon Valley? Is that what they were calling
Valley,
it?
yeah. I think it was Moon Valley, yeah. It's like Japan, honey. Stop it.
I love how close that rocket is to the house.
I know.
Like that wouldn't destroy it whatsoever.
And then there's like the fucking like corn silo in the background / like observatory.
Mm-hmm.
It's like,
okay.
Yeah. It's like, sure thing there, popcorn. Sure thing. I'm trying to see it. I was like trying to look to see if any of the reindeer had more than one leg. More than 4 legs, I mean.
Yeah, that makes them fly better.
The 4-wheel drive, it's the traction.
Yeah.
Just go full Odin, just have a 6-legged deer. Leroy Jenkins.
Yeah.
That is a WoW reference, Duck Dog. This is not the same thing. You stop it.
Yeah, let's see, in terms of just random BS, the whole Henry Cavill thing sure seems to be evolving, doesn't it?
Oh Lord,
What else has happened now?
Well, let's see here. Well, he went to.
Yes.
Well, they tried to accuse him of toxic behavior toward women, which Harry talked about.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, James Gunn responded to disrespectful fan backlash after Henry Cavill announced he won't return as Superman. So apparently, James Gunn has realized that there's a line for how much the internet will let him be forgiven. I'm trying to see what the article says.
Well, didn't Cavill beats like a half retraction out of some people?
I do not know about that because I don't pay attention to Witcher stuff too much. So, but I'm sure he did because it's like, well, I wouldn't be surprised if he did. It's like, no, I never did that to you. You need to stop it. Oh God, Gunn, you're not. Oh boy.
Uh-oh. What did it say?
Okay, this is part of the article. So this is a little bit into it after the whole talking about like Cavill was been removed and James Gunn announced it and stuff. Well, Henry announced it and then James Gunn made a statement. This is a follow-up statement and it's like now nearly a week later on Monday, 19th of December, Gunn has confronted the air quotes unkind backlash from fans, writing in a tweet that when he and his co-CEO Peter Safran took the air quote, job as heads of DC Studios, unquote, they were, I can hear her, air quotes, were aware, quote, that there would be a certain minority of people online that could be, well, uproarious and unkind, to say the least.
Oh
And then
dear, his fifis got hurt.
I know, poor baby. This is his direct statement. We were aware there would be a period of turbulence when we took this gig, and we knew we would sometimes have to make difficult and not so obvious choices, especially in the wake of fractious nature of what came before us. No one loves to be harassed or called names, but to be frank, we've been through this significantly worse. Disrespectful outcry will never ever affect our actions. He explained their choices are made based upon what we believe is best for the story and best for DC characters who have been around for nearly 85 years. Okay. Perhaps these choices are great, perhaps not, but they're made with sincere hearts. Oh, motherfucker. But they are made with sincere hearts and integrity and always with the story in mind.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, don't
yeah,
buy
I'm
that.
sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Meanwhile, the director, who was forced to issue a clarification when Justice League actor Ray Fisher accused him of being fake on social media, despite his firing as Superman, Cavill is already reportedly attached to star and he's executive produced a series adaptation of the game Warhammer 40K. Which I hopefully gives him more power, but he better not tell just the human story, because the human story is kind of boring. As far as DC, who will recast Superman in the expected origin story spinoff, we already know his origin story.
What? Like, it's gonna be? It's actually his parents' story. So it's going to end with him being catapulted into Earth.
I guess so. It's like, guys, we already know the origin story. We already know. Stupid. Like, it's Superman. We've been knowing this shit for like 60 fucking years.
Whoa.
Duck Dog, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
He's not fucking Millie Bobby Brown. What are you talking about?
Wait, what?
I'm assuming that's what he's trying to say. He has a
Henry
girlfriend
Cavill?
in her mid-30s, and she's a scientist. Or he did. He went to the Avatar premiere alone, but so Lord, I love that.
She probably couldn't handle his toxic masculinity.
She seems pretty chill. But she is an environmental scientist, so I don't know how much she actually is chill. But I'm at least glad that he's the executive producer for the Warhammer series, because that at least means that he has some control, and he's learned from The Witcher, which is, how about we don't rely on morons to keep this shit going? It's like, but yeah, I was trying to figure, like, because to me it seems stupid to have him come back in the Black Adam movie and then fire him. It's like, why? Like, why did you even let that get made if you had a pretty good idea you were going to fire him anyway? Like, were you just looking for the stock jump? Like,
they must have had some sort of a contractual agreement. Like, it has to do X amount of movies or appear as Superman X amount of times. And just some stupid though, yeah.
They just hate anybody who's like Chris Pratt or Henry Cavill, or they just can't cope.
Which is sad.
Well, the thing
he's not appropriately cucked. They want him to be like Mark Ruffalo or something.
Well, from what I've been told, his casting agent is the same casting agent as The Rock, and The Rock's casting agent is his wife. So there is speculation that certain jobs The Rock has gotten should not have gone to The Rock, if you give the insinuation I'm making. And that his wife very obviously shows preference, there we go, there's the word, to Dwayne The Rock Johnson, because there's certain jobs I don't think he should have had personally. And when you think about it, it's like, some of them might have been better as Henry. But so there's speculation that's the reason why he's not getting because he should be James Bond. if James Bond was being written well. But he should have been James Bond a little while ago, because I think Man from U.N.C.L.E. proved that he can play that type of character.
Oh yeah, and he was an
magnificent
excellent
role.
villain in one. I don't remember which. Sorry if you can hear that. Sorry.
I can hear it. It's funny.
That's the mini. It's always her.
Oh,
In one of the Mission Impossibles, I think he was like Ghost Protocol or something.
Yeah, the last one. No, the last one. I don't know. I stopped
One of
watching
the
Mission-
ones. I swear he was in it, and he
He was. I can't
beat
remember
up,
which one.
uh,
I think you're right.
Okay, whoa. Assassin. We do not call Daniel Craig Pudface. Like, sit down. He is cute buns, okay?
I like him dark
And-
haired, so he's never done anything for me, but I will respect your choice.
Fuck face.
I liked him. I've liked him since what's her face's Lara Croft Tomb Raider.
Is he
Oh,
still
yeah, no,
married to Rachel Weisz?
Yeah, they have
Yeah.
a little kid at home. I think it's like 3 or 4, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's good.
Well, it's like he's
They look
got.
cute together. I like them.
I think he chose well. She's not stupid.
Well, I might be wrong. Did he switch wives? No, he's still married to her. Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, did he switch wives? Because it tried to say that Rachel Weisz has a child with Aronofsky, and I was like, wait a damn minute.
Oh,
She
yeah.
may, but
I think it
that's
was
not
her
who I
first
was
husband?
asking. Yeah, I think it was her first husband. But
Okay. No. Have you seen Knives Out Assassin? Because he is fucking hilarious in Knives Out. And I can't wait for the second one to come out in like a week or so on Netflix. Because I missed it when it was in theaters. Like, I couldn't find anywhere local to me in theaters last month. So he's fun and he is enjoying himself in that one. I think he was getting older and it was harder for him to keep up with the exercise routine. But, contracts and money and all that. But he's not always miserable.
Yeah, it's 2000.
Sorry, I'm joking.
Yeah. It Costin, I now want to call Daniel Craig Pudface.
Poor man.
But no, it like also Daniel Craig did like a alcohol commercial where he's like dancing down the street or something like that.
Oh my god, that sounds cute.
Like, and he's like in a leather vest.
Nice.
Like it's like, I swear to God, oh God, he's 54. I keep forgetting how old he is. I'm like, well, he's not even that old. Like, his 54 is not that old, not even by a long shot. But still, it's like, I'm trying to see if there's any other articles about what's going on with the Henry stuff, but it's just all James Gunn going, we're aware that people are assholes, and because of this, we're like, it's okay. It's like,
Your
apparently
feelings are valid.
yeah, man with terrible haircut and bad glasses. But apparently there's a group of DC comic fans who are demanding James Gunn's firing after the Henry Cavill exit. So it's going to be interesting to see. I'm trying to see.
Sorry, keep going.
Well, no, I'm trying to, because I've ended up on Fox, and they of course quote tweeted, not quote tweeted, they of course show the tweet from Lauren Chen, and I'm just like, okay, well, I need other stuff here, guys. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if anybody, because I'm not sure if they've gotten rid of any other actors other than Henry, because that's the thing.
I mean, they're not going to, I doubt they're going to get rid of Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman.
Yeah, but where can they go with her now since Wonder Woman 84? Because Wonder Woman 84 was bad.
Well,
Not her
she was
fault.
part of like the.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But it still
And-
didn't make money, and they always blame the actors and the directors when that shit happens. So it's like,
Oh,
like
unless
it's
it's like Ishtar, in which case they blame the director.
yeah.
Are you guys
Well-
familiar with the movie Ishtar?
Oh yeah.
No.
Sorry, you're not familiar with it?
No.
It's one of those epically bad movies that's really kind of awesome if you kind of look at it from the right direction. So what was it? God, I'm trying to remember who the Warren Beatty and who was the other guy who was in it? Guy who was Rain Man.
Dustin Hoffman.
Dustin Hoffman and Warren Beatty play two completely incompetent songwriters and performers who end up getting booked on like this overseas junket to sort of take their act, Tate and Lyle, on the road, and hilarious hijinks ensue in the desert. It's really bad. They've got it's these songwriter guys. I think the soundtrack from it is one of the things I like most about it, because these guys are so completely oblivious. They're doing like a function for like an old guy's of like a really old guy's birthday. And so they come up with a little song called I'm Leaving Some Love in My Will.
Okay.
And there's also a song in there called Wardrobe of Love, which is, it goes something like, come look at me. There's a wardrobe of love in my eyes. Come inside, look around, try on something your size. It's just absolutely terrible. And then, yeah, it's I can't really do it justice, and I can't play it because we'll get copy struck, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But it's considered to be one of the worst movies, big budget movies ever made, and it's fantastic. I have it on Blu-ray. I love this movie. I have a real high tolerance for pain when it comes to cringe.
Well, you're not a fan of anime, so of course you are.
No, of course not.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying the costumes and everything.
Yeah. I think Sora might actually be like the perfect person to watch this
No.
movie.
Is it like Xanadu? Because I love.
Oh, no,
Xanadu.
way cringier
no.
than Xanadu.
Yeah,
Xanadu's a fantastic movie compared to this.
Oh yeah.
There's some weird sci-fi thing with an apple that I remember seeing on TV once.
That's so fucking vague. I have no idea what
Sorry,
you're
yeah, I know. It just popped in my head.
The Chronicles of Magritte? I don't know. What?
So to speak to the stuff that is going on in chat, the movie has been axed. Gal Gadot has not been fired. So she's still part of the DC universe. But her third movie, because Patty Jenkins left, is still in limbo. But she's technically still part of DC. So
I
yeah,
found
it's
it.
like,
It's
how did you find it? What did you do? Just type
it's
sci-fi movie
literally
with Apple?
sci-fi musical Apple, and it's called The Apple, the outrageous 1980 dystopian sci-fi musical. And I'm like, it's this.
Wow.
Oh
Google
my.
loves me. It's set in 1994. Oh, hold
what
on.
the
Where is it?
fuck
Set in
is
1994, the film opens with a musical act BIM singing their glam stopper BIM on the televised World Vision Song Festival contest. Just like that, the Apple is off and running, overloading the viewer's senses from the get-go. BIM is an acronym for Boogaloo International Music, the company run by Mr. Boogaloo, the evil man behind the curtain. He's roughly 80% Mephistopheles, 20% Dracula. It's clear he's a very bad man.
Mephistopheles.
Hold on. Mephistopheles. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. I don't have to say shimp to everything. Mephistopheles.
You do.
It's-
You have the capability to not say shim to everything.
I will copy and paste
Nope.
the link in private so you can share that with the lovely viewers.
Okay.
Now this, you want a fun, like weird ass, just cookie thing. Like they find, if I remember correctly, they're searching for like the purest voice, and they break up this couple and brainwash the girl.
Oh,
It's sort of like an Adam and Eve thing going on, and I think
Alrighty.
Jesus is in it.
oh yeah, because the apple from the tree of Eden. Okay, I'm getting it now. Okay.
I'm pretty sure. And then it's Alfie and Bibby are the main
God damn.
Oh, here. Yeah. The apple is an Orwellian biblical allegory.
Yeah. Jesus. Woo.
Yeah, this is random crap I remember. And see? Internet knows.
All the knowledge worth having is on the,
It's on the internet.
internet.
Mhm.
Although I just, because apparently from what I can tell, Patty Jenkins left the Wonder Woman project, the third Wonder Woman movie, to go do the Star Wars thing. But then Wonder
Oh.
Woman 84 came out, and then Disney went, no. Now she hasn't done anything in 2+ years because no one wants to do.
They freaked out when they saw it.
Well, it's kind of
They're
like the
like,
thing
"Oh,
that
no."
happened with D&D, the guys who did Game of Thrones. They fucked up the last season of Game of Thrones because they thought they were going to go on to Star Wars, and then they
Mhm.
fucked it up, and Disney went, no, we're already dealing with enough shit. We're not dealing with your fucked up shit now,
It's
too."
like when
They
you're
got
accepted
fired
at
before they even-
university, but then you fuck up in the last 2 weeks of your senior year in high
Yeah,
school,
pretty
and they say, nope.
Yeah, that's what happened. Like, the final season of Game of Thrones came out. About halfway through the final season, Disney went, nuh-uh. Just were like, fuck you, no. And ran away.
Conditional acceptance means conditional.
Yeah, basically. Like, all they had to do was not fuck up the last season of Game of Thrones. That's all they had to do. They
You
just
had one
not fuck it
job.
up. And they fucked it up and still thought they would get a job.
Shmini.
Well, yeah, no, I know Assassin. Like, that's the thing. Like, I think it's just, I agree with Dante. It's just a matter of time before they announce she's fired. And like, it's one of those things, like, who all are they going to fucking fire? Like, are they going to fire Robert Pattinson? Is Robert Pattinson even going to do another Batman movie? Is he not going to do another Batman movie?
Well, one movie can ruin a career. I mean, you look at, I mean, Showgirls almost nuked how many careers?
Oh, Jesus.
I mean, that thing had like a worse survival rating than Ebola.
Yeah.
And
I think
Kyle
the,
MacLachlan came out the other end, and that was about it.
well, the one lesbian show dancer who she had a like a rivalry with, she was always a cult figure actress, so she came out of it okay, because she went on to do the L Word.
Oh, well, she was already famous going into it. She was a pretty big actress, and it was one of those "Why are you in this movie?" things.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
But it's one of those, it's like, are they going to get rid of The Rock? Are they going to get rid of Shazam? Are they going to do apparently Robert Pattinson has no interest in doing any more Batman films as per Assassin, so he did a Batman movie for one reason, and that was it. It's like, why did you sign up to do a Batman movie if you're only going to do one?
Yeah, that seemed, well, it's also him.
Yeah, true. He has a tendency to do that kind of shit anyway. Oh yeah, no, Dante, I know they're planning on doing a complete reboot, because they're like, we want to start over. It's like, how about you just try to fix the fucked up story you have already instead of starting over? Because it never works. It never works.
Oh,
he did movie because contractual obligations. Who the fuck wrote that contract? Was it the devil?
And by movie studios, yes.
True. But no, it's one of those things where it's kind of like because it's just fix the story you already have. Don't try to restart it. Or like take a decade off. Like, just take a decade off. Don't do any comic book movies. Just deep breath, cleanse, then do it. And no, I don't think comic book movies are dead. I don't think it's dead at all. Oh, Sora dropped.
Oh,
I think the dog may have pulled the plug.
do you recognize the picture that I'm showing?
Oh yeah, no, I know
Yeah.
what a color wheel is. Oh yeah.
They look great with the aluminum Christmas tree.
Oh yeah, they look awesome.
Because then it's like the Happy Colors show.
The only other thing that is cooler than the color wheel were the and they have them now, but they're different. But like the old school sound activated lights, and you could play Christmas music, and they would.
Oh
blink in
yeah, the
time.
color organ is, I think, what they used to call it.
Yeah, I love those things.
Yeah, I had one of those.
It's like I love.
I
all
built
the-
it from a kit.
Of course you did.
I got it from Radio Shack, and I built it from a kit.
Ladies and gentlemen, that tells you how long ago that was, because Radio Shack was still around.
I used to play switched on Bach on my stereo and then watch the colors go by.
High? You did it high? Is that what you're saying? You did it high?
I've never been high, so that's no.
Just Burning Man it, just like lay underneath of it and just watch the pretty colors.
Yeah, this is why everybody thinks I'm a narc.
I do have to say, I found a really cool thing at Lowe's. You know how the old school like fake plastic candles that you put in the windowsills that light up? You don't know?
No. What do you mean fake plastic candles?
Well, like at least my generation from the 80s to the 90s, there was the fake plastic electronic candles that were white. Those things.
Yes.
And they Sora just messaged me. Minnie unplugged something. I can hear you, but my monitor is off. I don't know. I think you somehow got pushed to the back. I think Minnie just wants you dead, Sora. But like,
pay attention to me. Feed me.
I'll make you pay, motherfucker. Here we go, yank. But Lowe's has these new ones that are LED. They still look like candles. I tried all the cables. Oh no. But they're flat and they stick to the window.
Wow. And
you press them and they light up and it looks like a full-blown candle because they've done it at like an angle. So this way, it like when you're looking at it, it looks like it's 3D, but when you actually have it, it's like the thickness of like a instruction manual. So it means you don't have to plug anything in. I bought a whole bunch of those damn things. They're in like every window of the house, so I have to go around when it starts to get dark and just press them. But they look cool from the outside. They look really cool.
Sounds like they would. I've never seen those. But then again, I don't get out very much. I'm always flying around on my fancy airplanes, so never see what's going on the ground.
Assassin, I like some of the lore with Warhammer. But I like the Krieg, who are kind of human but kind of not. But they're miniatures. They're only going to be so pretty. And if people want to spend the money, people want to spend the money. It's like anything. If you're stupid enough to go into debt doing it, that's your own fucking fault. It's kind of my stance. I know people in the video gaming sphere hate loot crates, but it's one of those things, or microtransactions. It's like, I agree with you. They suck and they're stupid, but you still have dumbasses who will bitch and moan about them and then still pay for them. So you're part of the fucking problem. Like, I'm sorry. Like, gamers are part of the fucking problem. Like, we always have been. Like, to act like we're not, and it's just the big mean.
Yeah,
like,
I have too many keyboards. I mean, I'm not really in a position to talk.
It's like I like Xbox controllers, so I collect them when they're in different colors. So I do that shit, and I have D&D books. Proud Dungeons and Dragon player. I have D&D books. I have all kinds of shit. I collect dice because I'm a dice goblin because I love to see the pretty math rocks.
Goblin.
That's what they're called. We're called dice goblins because we like the shiny, clicky clacky.
As opposed to dice
rocks.
Enthusiast.
It's not really plagiarism, Assassin. It's not. Especially Warhammer. Witcher, I can kind of agree with you a little bit. Batman, like, I know what you're talking about with Batman. It was Gray Shadow? Yeah, Gray Shadow. But it's not plagiarism. It's
an homage.
Yeah, it's an homage, darling. It's an homage. Now, Star Wars is a plagiarism. And it was only because the guy who wrote Dune got talked out of suing George Lucas that George Lucas didn't get sued. Like, apparently he was roaring for it. Like he was like, "Oh, I'm going to sue him," because there are a lot of similarities between Dune and Star Wars, especially the original trilogy. If you really look at it, like a lot of similarities. Like even the fucking armor is very similar.
Well, you could compare Dune to Lawrence of Arabia while you're at it. I mean, there's a lot of common tropes in a lot of things, but it doesn't make it plagiarism.
And you're starting to click now, Harry.
Oh, great. Even with the new software? Awesome.
Yeah.
How bad?
It seems to bother Skep more than it does me, but I can hear it. You're going to have to ask chat how much it bothers them, because I'm not sure. Like, it doesn't, like, I'm so used to hearing bad audio.
Alright. I'm going to kill every unnecessary thing
Dante,
I'm running.
what he's talking about is Elric, and there is a lot of similarities between the Witcher book series and Elric book series. There's a lot of them. The plotline stuff from the Shadow, it was a noir crime fighting series. There's going to be plot lines that are exactly the same. That one's a little harder because you can't do a noir savior thing without it being similar. There's no way in hell. There's only so many plots you can do. Dick Tracy has similar plot lines to fucking Batman and Shadow. Oh, who am I getting? Who's messaging me now?
Not me.
Oh, it's Sora. She's like, well, this sucks. It says it's connected, but I have no image.
It says device is not connected, so your microphone is probably not plugged in or something.
Oh, jeez.
I mean, supposedly she can hear us, right?
Well, yeah, then that's the thing. Like, I think, didn't this happen to you once before, Sora?
Yeah.
I muted my mic. I have no screen. Are you sure she didn't unplug it from the back of the, like her tonguing didn't unplug it from the back of the monitor, not from the monitor to the computer?
Time to go buy a new computer tomorrow. Maybe an all-in-one.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure she's going to appreciate that shit.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
So how's my audio?
You're still clicking, dude.
Awesome. I think we should probably go ahead and pack it in then. I think that's what the fates are telling us. I think we need to say goodnight. Do you have anything you want to say before we nod off?
Good luck with the emulators, Dante. I've heard good things about the emulators on the Steam Deck. So, yeah, apparently it's gotten worse, Harry.
All right. Well, good night, everybody.
Say bye-bye to Sora. Oh, Sora, they're saying bye-bye. Bye.
Bye.